um I don't know how to explain it, but maybe he thinks that Julia deserve the death, something like that.
She deserves
That
to
he,
die?
no, I mean, if he was committing a crime, maybe Julia deserved that, not to death, to die, that he will die for her.
Okay, okay, I get it. So you think that he loved her so much that he didn't care if he was gonna die as long as he had her?
Maybe because um as they were knowing each other, they both were have some things in common. So maybe he think that, oh, I really love this girl.
Okay, what do you think, Moses? What's your opinion? Why would he do something so dangerous? Like rent an apartment just for this woman, knowing that he could get killed?
Can you repeat the question?
Did somebody just throw something at you? the,
Yeah, my mom came into my room.
the question is, why would Winston do something so dangerous? Knowing that it was a crime and that he could get into serious problems because of it, why would he rent this apartment for to spend time with Julia?
I think that it was because it was thrilling to him because in the life that he was living, he hated himself, he hated women and everything. And when he got the opportunity to do something like that, he had nothing to lose. He just did it because he he was not risking anything. If he got killed, he hated his life anyway.
Okay, so you think it's because he simply didn't care?
Yeah, and because it was something new.
It's something new. Okay, so there is a certain type of attraction that we tend to feel when something is dangerous or something is prohibited. We want to do it. If somebody tells you don't do this, it's prohibited, that's when we want to do it. Do you think, Marianne, do you think that could be part of it, part of the reason why Winston did something so foolish?
Yeah, since it was not permitted, and he has been having a love affair with Julia, hiding from telescreens and cameras. It is just like a next step. Like he has
Okay, she
just
knows. Okay,
made different things. So
okay.
it's just like a new thing, like a next step.
Do you think that would make the relationship more exciting if you're doing something that's not legal, something that's bad? Let me see. Genesis, I can hardly see you. You're just like a dark spot. If you can change the position of your camera so that the sun hits your face, then maybe we can get a look at your pretty face and you can answer me.
Yeah, I will. Wait a minute.
So, so
Wait a
answer.
moment.
Okay. Oh, she left. That's sad. Okay, so the next person on my screen is Sarah. Sarah, do you think that doing something this dangerous made it more exciting?
Absolutely, yes, of course. I mean, he's like, it's a lot of things that happen here, actually. He do hate himself. He's a very depressed person, so probably, of course, she also has been with a lot of men before him. And I think that he thinks like that. If she can be with a lot of men's, then I can do something risky too, and I will rent an apartment. I think that he's
Oh,
trying to do it more excited. I don't know,
okay.
something bad.
Okay, yeah, but doing bad things is exciting. That's why so many people do bad things. Okay, so one of the times in which they were supposed to meet, Julia told him that she couldn't meet. And the only reason she gave him was, oh, the usual reason. It started early this time. I don't know what that means. But Winston got very, very angry. It says here he got violently angry. And immediately his first thought was, she's cheating. She found somebody else. So next on my screen is Daniel Sanchez. Well, it changed up, but Daniel Sanchez, you're next on my screen. Why do you think Winston immediately thought the worst? Why did he not just accept like, oh, she has a situation or something is wrong? He immediately thought, oh, she's cheating. Why?
Can you repeat the question, please?
One of the times that Winston and Julia were supposed to meet, Julia canceled. She said she couldn't go. And the only reason she gave was it started early this time. We don't know exactly what she's referring to. But Winston got very, very angry. He got violently angry. Why do you think he immediately got angry and thought that she was cheating?
Because they live in like a world that or was like fault that the people don't have like emotion that they can confiar, trust in someone.
Ah, okay. I see your point. So you're thinking that because of the situation in Oceania, he wasn't able to understand what was happening. He immediately thought that she was doing something bad.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't trust his emotions.
Yeah.
So it's very likely, Rebecca, is it possible that instead of being angry, he was actually sad and disappointed?
I think maybe he got sad because he really felt that love from her, and he felt love in her. So I think that he actually feel like traicionado. I don't know.
Betrayed.
Yeah. Also, when they were in this place, the first time, she asked him like something about his wife, and why he didn't pull her in, kill her, and that's made me think like maybe he thinks that she can do something bad to he got dead or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. And also the fact that Winston is kind of old and Julia is young. And by the description that we have of Winston, he wasn't too handsome, wasn't too good looking, and she was. So he had a lot of insecurities that he was dealing with. Okay, now it says here that he wanted them to be a married couple. He actually wanted to be married to Julia for at least 10 years. Okay, so usually we think that when you're recently married, that's when you're happiest. But Winston wanted to be married to Julia for at least 10 years. Let's see, next person on my screen is Amir. Amir, why would he want to be married for 10 years? Why would he not say like newlyweds on a honeymoon?
I think because sorry, I don't know. And he was like, he don't like have self confidence, and I don't know. I think that that thing could affect in their marriage, or because, for example, if he had a wife before, and that in a bad way, he think that the same thing will happen with her.
Okay.
That is why he like put a period in their marriage, or like
an amount
date.
of time. Yeah, an amount of time.
Yes.
Okay, so Layali, you're next on my screen. Is there a difference between being newly married, like 1 month married, and being 10 years married? What's that difference?
I think that when you are 10 years married, you has pasado,
have lived
more years with that person, and you can know more that person.
So you think that people are happier when they're 1 month married or when they're 10 years married?
I think that it can depend in what type of relationship you are and how you uh, convive,
Live.
live with that person.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. So that he said that he wanted to be married for 10 years. He wished they were walking through the streets without the fear of the party members looking at them. And more than anything, he wished that they could be in a place where they could be make love every time they meet. I guess that's why he rented the apartment. Okay, now this is another important issue, and the next person on my screen is Aranza. And Aranza, when Julia showed up at the apartment, she came with a whole lot of very fancy things. Like, let me give you the list. She brought milk, like real milk, and she brought real sugar, and she brought real tea and real coffee. And then when Winston asked her, where did you get this? Because of course, as we studied in the first chapter, they always got like really um, bad quality products. When Winston asked her, she said that it's all inner party stuff. So the people that belong to the inner party, like the inner politicians, they had all the good stuff. And they gave the rest of the party members and the rest of Oceania all the bad quality products. What's your opinion about that, Aranza? And do you think this is something that happens currently?
Yes, I think that this happens actually when the politicians appropriate of the good things, of the better um, goods, los bienes,
Goods.
and then give the worst to the pueblo, to the el pueblo,
People.
to the people that vote for them.
And why do you think this happens, Aranza? Why do they behave like this?
Because maybe power changed them.
Well, so next on my screen is Natalie. Natalie, do you think that power changes people, or that people were like that and then when they get power, they just show who they really are?
I think that when you have power, you can change your attitudes.
You think the power changes people?
Maybe, yes.
Now, I can see Nassim's face, and he doesn't seem to agree. You see, that happens when you show your face. So tell me, Nassim, you don't think that power changes people?
No, I think I just commit face crime.
That was face crime.
Well, I think people are mostly like that, except that you have like a set of rules that you make for yourself whenever you're in between the multitude, and a different set of rules when you're in your house with your family and in a place with your friends. You have different levels of attitude. The thing that power does is that you suddenly don't need too much approval for other people on what you can or cannot do. If I had a lot of money, I don't have to uh, amuse people around me for they to feel some kind of relationship with me, for me to ever sometimes maybe have like a bond that I can explode to get something, or even don't get explode myself from them. So
Okay.
it's and if it can, if you're not if you're playing in the survivalistic kind of social behavior, you usually think of good attitudes as ways to assure yourself um, a basic standard of a relationship with people, but also a basic standard of living. So people tragedy that's a tragedy, but people usually can fall in the behavior of treating other people well just because they think that's the best way to get them on their side. So
Yeah.
if you don't need people on your side because you can move it all along because you have power now, you are the they want that everyone else's need. You don't need, you're not resting upon anyone, below anyone now, so you can be yourself. You can explore your own desires and your own behavior. People in very high positions usually we discover mm, years after their deaths, or even if we discover it while they are alive, barely they receive some kind of punishment. They can fall up in whole kinds of attitudes and behaviors and vicious vicious behaviors. So this thing make me think that famous people can fall in drugs because even though you have power now, you still don't have happiness. But then you now have you are able of masking you're searching for another this happiness in vicious and things that people, if you were a normal person, people will notice. If you use drugs, people around you will notice. But if you have your mansion and everyone else in that mansion works for you, no one will say anything.
Okay.
So you are more free. You gain more freedom to be yourself. Therefore, you become more yourself. So every problem that you already had becomes visible. Just
so what you're saying is that the people in the inner party who were corrupt were always corrupt, just that now that they had the power, the corruption became more visible. Is that what you're saying, Nassim? Okay,
yes.
so next person on my screen is Mandisa. And Mandisa, I want you to honestly tell me, if you were in the inner party of Oceania, would you have just enjoyed all these privileges, or would you have tried to share it with other people? The privileges I'm referring to, particularly the higher quality food. And Mandisa, you need to unmute. Wait, I'm gonna unmute you. Yeah, I am. Go. What do you think?
I would share it, but at the same time, if I was living there, a lot of people think that a different action is a mean of that maybe you're doing something wrong. Like the girl that was saying that the man was I don't know, a spy, and the guy didn't do anything. So I think I will not share it, because one step or something different that you or they don't do, they will think of you something is going wrong with you.
Okay, so let me see if I understand what you're saying. You're saying that if you were in the inner party, you think it would be very dangerous for you to share with other people because they might talk against you and you might get vaporized. Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Got it. So my next question is for Adrian. Now, Adrian, there was, while they were in that room that Winston rented, there was a woman, a poor prole woman outside hanging out her clothes, and she was singing. And then here's the comment. Perhaps it was only when people were somewhere near the starvation level that they had anything to sing about. Okay, Winston was wondering, why is this woman, she's poor, Oceania is a horrible place to live, she has it even harder than the people in the party. Why is she singing? And that's the conclusion that he drew. Maybe because she was so poor and about to starve, that gave her a reason to sing. What do you think, Adrian?
It's weird to sing about when you're in poverty. And okay, I think that maybe she was happy because she didn't have anything to worry about. You know, the lack of responsibilities or the fact that she's dangerous for the party. It's just like another poor woman in the street, so she isn't really a menace for anybody. So maybe she was just overall happy because she was just living day by day and surviving, not working for anybody but for herself.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. My next question goes to Genesis. I can see the half of your face now. And this question is interesting because when they were in the room, suddenly Julia told Winston to turn his back and she was going to surprise him. So what she did was that she put makeup on her face. And then when he turned back to her, she was wearing makeup. It wasn't a lot of makeup, okay? But it just a little bit. And what she commented was, she even put on some perfume. And her comment was, in this room, I'm going to be a woman, not a party comrade. What does makeup and perfume have to do with being a woman in your perspective? Why would she say something like this?
Maybe she thought that she would look more fancy or feminine.
Okay, so do you think that's true, that when you put on makeup and perfume, you look more feminine? Is that true?
No, I think um, mm, she did it to look more, or she did it just because he would think that she would look more beautiful.
Why was it important for her, for Winston, to not see her as a party comrade and see her as a woman? Why was that important?
See her as a woman.
Let's switch this over to the child beside you, and this is supposed to be Mary Ruth. I can only see your forehead, so yeah, thank you. I need to see your beautiful, yeah, there you go, the smile, there you go. So Mary Ruth, tell me, why was it important for her to be seen as a woman and not as a member of the party, not as a comrade?
To para lograr, ¿cómo se podría decir?
I don't know, what did you say? I can't hear you.
Para lograr que
To accomplish what?
To accomplish that Wilson didn't see like the others persons.
The other who?
Party. The other person that are in the party.
Okay. Okay, Eduardo,
they're like different.
Eduardo, you're walking a lot. What's the answer? Why do you think it was important for Julia, for Winston not to see her as a simple comrade? This child has been walking from the time this class started. Where are you going? Shopping? Are you in the supermarket? Where are you?
Wait. Okay. This reminds me when you're in a marriage and one of them decides to do like a little treat. Le voy a hacer un regalito. And then the person gets sexy and some detalles pues.
Little details.
So I think she got a little bit sexy for him in order to keep the flame on.
Oh, okay. So let's see who's at the bottom here. Isabella. Isabella, do you think that Julia, that Julia has feelings for Winston, or is she just using him? What do you think?
I don't really think she's like, okay, I don't know how to say it. Like, she's kind of there. I don't remember because I read it like some days before the novel erased it. Because I've been having trouble with the phone. I don't remember exactly.
No, but what do you think? Do you think she has feelings for him, or do you think she's just using him as entertainment?
I would like to think that she isn't using him. She like have feelings.
Okay.
I'm confused.
Who else agrees that Julia has feelings for Winston? No? Aranza is saying no. Why not?
What kind of relationship is that?
Eduardo, why are you still walking? Please sit down somewhere. Now, see, he keeps moving. Aranza, tell me, what do you think?
Well, there is a possibility that she's feeling something. Not really like love, but maybe some kind of attraction. I think that it could be happening, but it could also be that she's just using him as an entertainment. I don't know.
Okay, so somewhere in the story, in some part, it mentions that most of the other men that she had been with, they had like disappeared. Okay, so yeah. So it maybe this is just a hobby for her. Now there is an incident in this same chapter 4 where there's a rat in the room, and Julia overreacts to the rat, not like a girly screaming, ah, nothing like that. She gets up and she gets all violent against the rat. And I found it to be very scary, the way she reacted, but Winston didn't. And she started like insulting the rat. She started insulting it and being like very aggressive and speaking about it. And I thought that was a red flag, but okay. Now, as we move on towards the end of chapter 4, something interesting. Julia doesn't know what a lemon is. She knows that an orange is a round fruit. She has seen oranges, kind of yellowish fruit, but she doesn't know what a lemon is. And it makes me think about so many fruits and vegetables that we have that we take for granted, and we don't remember that many people in other places have never seen fruits or vegetables like this. Can you give me an example of a fruit or a vegetable that we have here that people in other places have never heard of? And in the same way, they have stuff we've never heard of, but what do you know that we have fruits, vegetables that other people don't know about? Who wants to tell me?
Marañón.
Marañón, yes.
Is guava a fruit?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, that's
The
my example.
ciruela traqueadora.
Ciruela trapeadora. Who is that? What is ciruela trapeadora?
Traqueadora.
Ciruela traqueadora. I haven't heard of that. What is that? Everybody else
It's
knows
like
that.
The green ones.
Yes, the green ones.
I know what that is. Okay. Also, it's called ciruela traqueadora because it makes that sound when you bite it.
Yes.
Okay, it's just a ciruela to me, but okay. Yeah. Okay, so then we move into chapter 5, and the chapter starts out with the disappearance of Simi was the name of the guy. Remember who this guy was? Simi? No? Yes? Who was Simi? You don't remember?
Wasn't he the guy, like, he was the one that was responsible of the dictionary thing or something like that?
Yes. He was the one that was creating newspeak, and they were eliminating words from the vocabulary. Well, remember that Winston had said that he was too intelligent and that he was gonna vanish? Well, he did. He vanished, and of course that means that they killed him. And all the places where there were like lists that had his name on it, his name suddenly, the list reappeared without his name. So when they vanished people, yeah?
Wasn't his name Sives or?
Yeah, it's written S-Y-M-E, but it's Simi or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That same guy. So when they kill you, you just cease to exist. No memory of you remains. And that's how chapter 5 opens. And it goes on to mention a few very interesting happenings. And a lot of them have to do with the hate week, because hate week is coming up. But let's not focus on that. Julia and Winston were able to meet 4, 5, 6, 7 times during 1 month. That's a lot, because even in normal circumstances with regular relationships, meeting 5, 6, 7 times a month is a lot. So do you think that they were deliberately placing themselves in some type of danger by meeting so often? Yes?
You're gonna get caught.
Yes.
Yes, probably yes. Okay, but Julia was having a positive effect on Winston's life. And it mentions 5 different things that he changed about himself because of his relationship with Julia. Now, my question is, did I cover all of you or anybody missing? I think I got all of you, so then we go back up to the top. And that's where Diane Otero is on the top of my screen. Is it necessary when you're in a relationship, is it necessary for you to have a positive influence on the other person, or can you just be whatever, whenever, however? What do you think?
I can listen the question. Could you repeat it again, please?
When you're in a relationship with another person, is it necessary for you to have a positive impact on that person, or it doesn't matter?
Well, I think that depends on the couple, because some couples could be like, okay, whatever, you can do whatever what you want, but others are like so possessive, and that's like, I don't think that that's good. But I really think that depends on of the couple.
Okay, so next person on my screen. Do you think it's always necessary in a relationship? This is Moses. Do you think it's always necessary to have a positive impact on the person that you're in a relationship with?
Se me cayó el cel. Yes, it is always necessary, because if you are with someone that doesn't give you anything positive, why would you be with that person? And why would they be with you, right? Yeah. Like, if you are bad with them, they're gonna leave you eventually, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Julia had a very positive impact on Winston, and he made a few changes in his life because of the relationship that he had with Julia. So even if we haven't gotten to the part where bad stuff happens to them, the relationship is actually doing good things for him. Okay, next question, next person. Next person is Sarah. Listen to this statement and tell me what it means to you. It says you could only rebel against the party by secret disobedience or by isolated acts of violence, such as killing somebody or blowing something up. I'm gonna repeat it. The only way, it's saying the only way to rebel against the party is by secret disobedience. What is secret disobedience, Sarah?
Actually, a great example of secret disobedience is what Julia and Winston are doing. When you secretly disobey someone or something, you actually stop caring so much about the rules they are like putting on you, you know, and they actually that both of them are really intelligent. They know what the party is about, and they know that if they don't rebel someday, they will eventually die of starving. So when you disobey secretly, you start seeing the things as they should be seen for everybody. Probably because the impact of disobedience is like something you, with the time, you will like to disobey people when you disobey secretly. So possibly if you get to like, how can I say, like, hacer que todos lo hagan.
Make everybody else do it.
If you can make everybody else do it, then eventually they will open their eyes and they will see that they were being trapped in something of the party. So maybe that's why.
Okay, and how many of you have heard conspiracy theories regarding the whole COVID-19 thing? By conspiracy theories, I mean like it doesn't really exist. Somebody created it deliberately. That disease is not true. How many of you have heard stories like these about COVID-19? None of you, two of you. Okay.
I heard about Trump.
Okay, one person, tell me what you've heard. Who wants to go? Adrian.
Can I go? I've heard that, you know, like we're now on 4G for phones, right?
Yes.
4G data or something like that. Well, apparently, China is developing a 5G technology. And I don't know why, but people start to think that 5G was causing coronavirus. Ours, we're just causing it for some reason.
Okay, so Nassim is committing face crime again. Nassim, what conspiracy theories have you heard?
First of all, that's really stupid. My God.
Yeah, but I've heard it
Um,
too. I saw a YouTube video where they were saying that 5G was to blame for
no,
coronavirus.
yeah. 5G, it's a concern. Really, really, the real part of 5G being a concern in China, it's something completely different. But I've never heard of that, of it causing viruses. Uh, well,
So what
uh,
one have you heard?
everything turns goes on the supposition that China invents the virus. So that's like the main topic of every of them. And then now the question is not if it's even possible or if it's even something that you as a government would like to do in your own country. It's why. I mean, people are not even asking if what it actually happened. Why they do it. It's my God.
Yeah,
Why they're doing.
I saw a really interesting conspiracy theory this morning where it said that the president of Tanzania had gotten a whole bunch of tests to test to see if people had coronavirus, and he tested them on goats, like animals, and fruit, and he sent back the test, and they all came back positive, and he never tested them on people. So people are like, wait, how is it that a fruit, a papaya, has coronavirus? So it's weird. There are a lot of theories, a lot of theories. But what I want you to see now is that, remember that Oceania, they're constantly bombing Oceania. The enemies are bombing. And
Yeah.
the conspiracy theory that Winston has is that the rocket bombs, well, not Winston, Julia, the rocket bombs that fall daily on London are the same government dropping those bombs just to keep people frightened. Do you think that that's a possibility for Oceania and for other parts of the world? That is just a method for governments to keep people frightened?
I mean, convincing people that they are constantly being attacked by other countries is like could be a department in every government in the world. Actually,
And what's
it's
the
like
advantage? What's the
yeah.
advantage of keeping people scared all the time? What's the advantage?
Well, the feeling of belonging to a group increases when the group is being treated by an external force. So that happened in the Holy Roman Empire in the part of in the region of the North Italy. There were a lot of groups that were pretty divided, but because of the position between them, the Alps, and then the rest of the Holy Roman Empire, the control of the emperor have never been such a big deal then. So once an emperor wants to assert his control to that region, and when that happened, even though they were all fighting between them, they form a coalition and to confront the threat of the Holy Roman Empire. So then, actually, right after the war, the battle ended, they immediately began to get in battle against each other again. So uh, when you attack a group, it doesn't really matter the difference between them. They just band up.
His screen stuck.
So
okay, there. You
okay.
disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, I noticed. Everyone just freeze.
So
well,
what is the advantage? What is the advantage for a government who keeps everybody scared?
First, everything that you do in order to protect the government becomes admissible. It's something that will be celebrated. If you, I don't know, let's say a hypothetical case, you move hundreds of troops to die in a foreign country, that's good because they are attacking us all the time. It's just that it's not where you live, and so you don't notice. But in the news, they are constantly being terrorized by groups in a small amount of times that they actually have videos, but that's because no one is filming in those particular places. So
The thing is that once people are scared, once people are afraid, they're very easy to control and manipulate.
Yeah.
When people are afraid, they're very easy to control. You were gonna say that, Amir.
Huh?
What were you gonna say?
What did you say?
Yeah. And so keeping people on constantly under the fear that they're gonna bomb them or that you're gonna get sick or that you're gonna die makes people easy to manipulate. Now, I'm not saying or implying that this whole coronavirus thing is a setup. That's not what I'm saying. But they kept all of us locked up in our homes. People that would always be out on the street working, and we're all locked up. So we've all been manipulated. Why are we locked up? Because we're afraid of getting the virus. So once people get scared, they become easy to manage. Who's talking? Adrian.
Isn't that what happened with 9/11? Where like there's like a theory where the United States bombed their own towers.
Yeah,
so they
but,
can
George
blame
Bush did 9/11 side.
Yeah.
So they can like blame the Taliban or something like that.
And they can, and also they can manipulate people, because before 9/11, when you went to travel, you just went through. Now you have to take off your shoes, your jewelry, I mean, your clothes, everything. You're practically gonna have to go through naked. You're walking without shoes because of what happened in 9/11. Okay, so I have one last question for you. And Winston tells Julia that she is a rebel from the waist down, de la cintura para abajo, and she took it as a compliment. Think about it. What was Winston really telling Julia? You are a rebel from the waist down. Okay, before that, they had been talking about different things, and he realized that she probably wasn't as brilliant as he thought. Okay, because she had some very strange ideas, and you should read those 2 chapters. And that's when he told her, he made that comment, you are a rebel from the waist down. Because he was telling her about the next generation and the future and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I don't care about the next generation. I don't care. What was he really telling her? Was he complimenting her? Because she took it as like, woo! Was he complimenting her, or was that actually an insult? Do you understand the statement? You are a rebel from the waist down. Yes, go ahead, Rebecca.
I think he's actually insulting her because of her actions,
okay.
Because of her thinking. Because you know all the people that are like under the control of the party are like had one thought that is like they didn't care about anything, and they are like aggressive and stuff. And I think that he start to think that she's just like them, but she's trying to be like other, to be more interesting. I don't know.
I think
okay. Somebody else
that
who hasn't spoken a lot. Who was talking?
me.
Go ahead, Marianne.
I think that when like chapters ago, he mentioned that the more men she has been with, the more he loved her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when he said that she was a rebel from that part,
from the waist down.
Yeah, I think he was like referring to that thing that he already said chapters ago.
Okay. In essence, what I really believe is happening is that she portrays herself as somebody who is against the party, but not really, because her thoughts are not deep enough to be able to analyze what the party is really doing. So her acts of rebellion are not intellectual. Her rebellious acts are sexual. That's why he's telling her that you are a rebel from the waist down. She's rebelling against the party, but only in a sexual way and not in an intellectual way. And that's very dangerous, because the way that you get out of these types of situations is with this, not with those other organs. Okay, people, so this was fun. Let us take the happy picture. Come on, everybody, smile for the camera. Okay, let's wait. Do I have everybody? Yes, 1, 2, 3. There you go, the happy picture. Okay, mwah, see you next time. Love you to pieces. Will not give you hugs when we come back, but I still love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.